Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagle, and it's going to take some getting used to 103.3 FM.
It is going to get used to that, but that's okay. I like the way it sounds. Everything sounds great. 103.3. We're rocking and rolling as of today, man. It sounded good, by the way. I was listening to R&R in the morning, and it sounded good on that FM dial.
You know, it sounded so good. I mean, Rudy ran all the air out of his tires on his way to work, apparently.
Poor guy, I tell you. But, you know, I feel for him because I could change a tire, but it might take me a while. I'd probably be late for the show.
I would have been late for the show, too, and I could change a tire if I had to. I just don't know that I'd want to.
But nobody wants to do that.
But there's some people out there that enjoy that. I don't. You know, Rob can give Rudy all the crap about his man card. If I remember right, the last time Rob had to deal with a tire, it was a whole kind of ordeal. A very Rob Thompson type experience. But, I mean, we all have dealt with car crap before, and it sucks.
Well, I told you, remember the story I told us a couple of weeks ago where I was looking for a deal to put air in my tire, and they were all broken, right?
Yeah.
So I was having to put air in that tire about every 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I finally take it down to the dealership and say, hey, man, there's something wrong. And there was a nail in there.
Well,
you know, because where I live, there's a bunch of construction.
Yeah,
so
of course.
So there was a nail in there. I had to get a whole new tire.
Tire insurance is wonderful, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's one of those things where, you know, it's in a place where you can't fix it.
Of course it is. Of course. Oh, you have insurance? Yeah, we could fix it.
Yes.
You need a new tire. You don't have the insurance, we'll sell you a new one.
Absolutely.
That's exactly.
Tires are expensive, man. I was looking at them. You can't get a decent tire for, it's about $250.
Well, and I know this sounds ridiculous, and I thought it was when I first heard about it. Jason Thompson from Mansura was telling me that tires are going to get more expensive because there was some, I don't know, going on with the rubber trees that are down. And I was like, rubber trees? I didn't know it was real. It is.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you Google it and you go, holy crap, get new tires now because they're going to get expensive.
You know, that's interesting. That was it like a freeze or something? Or you know, what happened? Because I would think of a rubber tree plant to be somewhere nice and warm.
It would be, but, you know, the disease and fire and all those kind of things. And then, you know, somebody realized what was going on and bought all the available rubber, apparently. And then, you know, down the road, tires are going to get really expensive. And I thought he was BSing me, telling me about a rubber tree. I come on, a rubber tree?
Don't you remember that song where the High Hopes, where the ant moves the rubber tree plant?
You know, sometimes.
You remember that?
So I don't, but I would think you're telling me it's in a song, and I think a songwriter on some weird hallucinogen and, you know, not in the right mind is they write something that sounded good in a song, so they go with it.
Dude, this is a kid's song, all right? It's,
again, the songwriter could have been high, hoping to write a really good song. I mean, that's exactly what comes with when I think about that.
I love those kind of stories, though, right? It was the weather. I guess it was last week in national weather, and they were saying it's going to get really cold in Florida. And they said you got to watch out when it freezes in Florida because the iguanas fall off the tree and, you know, they can hit you.
2 years ago when we were in Miami for the Super Bowl, that was a big thing because there were some days where it was going to be cold. Rob and I, every time we would walk around, we're looking for iguanas to fall out of the tree. Never actually saw it happen.
I don't want to see it happen, especially when I'm walking underneath it.
Well, again, I mean, you know, they freeze and they fall out of the tree. I mean, you know, it's the only time you're ever going to catch one.
But I don't think they die, right?
No, they don't die. They just fall. I mean, you know, they might have a concussion, but, you know, they warm up and then they run away.
Okay,
I mean,
good. But and it's a happy ending.
Well, I mean, except for, you know, if you're the iguana that fell from the tree. I mean, but yeah, I mean, there's weird things out there that you don't think about unless you live in it.
That's true.
You know, so.
Well, you hear crazy stuff like that. And luckily, it's San Antonio, and it's a beautiful day today, 70-some-odd degrees, and it's nice.
And it's going to be stupid cold tomorrow? We got that cold front coming in.
Yeah, Thursday, right? Or I think tomorrow
night. Yeah, it's going to. I don't know. I mean, today's the day to be at a golf course. I could tell you that. But I'll tell you what. You're glad you're listening right now on 103.3 FM. Let's see, 1 hour 25 minutes. Troy Aikman will be on the Blitz.
That's going to be fun. I've got a lot of questions for Troy.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
We all have a lot of questions.
And the good thing about Troy is that he'll answer you honestly.
He will.
He won't beat around the bush.
Although he's not Jerry Jones long-winded, but
no.
You might have a lot of questions, but you might not, because he gives such great detailed answers. They're very thoughtful. But and yes, we will talk about Troy and his new beer 8.
Yes.
Officially is getting released, although we'll get the details, but a lot of people have asked me, because I got a sneak peek of the 8 a week ago. We tried it on the air. It's going to be in bars starting, I think, today or tomorrow.
Okay.
But it'll be a while before you can go buy a 12-pack or a 6-pack. Although it's called 8, maybe they should sell them in 8-packs. It'll be a while before it's actually at the grocery stores.
You and I are fortunate enough that we've already tried it.
Yes.
And it's good.
It is very good.
Yes.
If you like a light beer, and if you're a longtime listener of this show,
I do.
My beer of choice is a light beer.
No, I like that because I drink that stuff anyway, for the most part.
I'm a Miller Lite guy.
I'm not a heavy beer kind of guy, right? Every now and then something heavy, but I like a lighter beer, and 8 fits that bill perfectly.
It does, and we'll talk about that. Get Troy's thoughts on the Cowboys. I want some clarity, so we got to figure out your video stream if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Joe's having some computer issues today. Rudy had some tire issues. What the hell, man?
This is one of those days.
We're just going to roll with it. Now, there is a lot of news to talk about today. And we will get into, did I mention Troy Aikman coming up at 5:30?
No, you haven't said that enough.
Troy Aikman is going to be on today at 5:30.
Good.
Tom Brady proved Adam Schefter to be correct.
Okay.
Hold on. Tom Brady retired. We will certainly talk about that. Brian Flores doesn't have a job, and, he's suing the hell out of seemingly everybody right now, which could prevent him from getting another job, although he is a finalist for the Houston Texans job. We will get into that. But we got a little bit of a contest that I want to do here on 103.3. Because we're on 103.3 FM right now. I want you to make sure you have found us on 103.3, especially for those of you that are still listening on AM 1250. And if you're listening to whatever is on 94.5 right now, wondering where the hell Joe is and where I am, we got to help the people out.
We're not spinning records.
But I want to make sure that we've got you, that you have locked us in on your preset, right? So what I want you to do, and I did this morning, was kind of cool because it was nice looking at 103.3 as I was driving to the studio earlier, and I took a picture of it and got a lot of people like, oh, okay, this is what happened, right? Because, on 94.5, there were times there'd be some bleed through, and you might be hearing the buzz out of Houston.
Right.
Which is a great rock station, but not when you want to hear sports talk in San Antonio. You won't have those issues on 103.3. So what we want you to do is take a photo of your radio dial in your car where it's already preset on 103.3. Tweet at us, Instagram. Just make sure you tag Joe, tag the station, tag me, tag Pledge. And we are going to, at some point later tonight, we are going to pick a certain amount of winners. I don't know how many. We've got to get with the promotions department and figure out what we have. But I know we've got some gift cards to Mellow Mushroom.
That's a great place.
I know we've got some gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Oh.
All you morons that won during our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge that didn't pick up your prizes within 30 days. Yeah. So we're re-gifting those gift cards to those that will take a photo of 103.3 FM preset on your radio, preferably in preset 1. But put it in your preset, take a photo, tweet it at JoeKens5, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. Or you can also do it on Instagram. Now, Reinagle's Instagram is different. It's Joe Reinagle _Kens5.
For another month.
It'll change. And then it's going to be Joe Star. Or, although,
that's good.
There might be some porn dude that's already stolen that one.
That might be, right?
Look at that. Rob Thompson shows up and is already breaking stuff. I mean, You can't let that guy in the studio.
I tell you can't take that guy anywhere, can you?
You really can't. So
he looks sharp, though. Look at this guy. I don't think I've ever seen him look that good.
He must have had to go see his parole officer earlier. In fact, what's funny is I saw his brother earlier today.
Oh, why?
Well, I was at Tri-County Meat Market, and his brother was there at Tri-County Meat Market. Yeah, I saw your brother. Jason Thompson.
Yeah.
A lawyer for us.
A lawyer for us.
Which happens to be his damn license plate.
So you knew he was there when you drove in?
No, actually, I was leaving Tri-County. He was walking in. We talked for a little bit, and then I look in the parking lot, and, I'm like, he's a lawyer for us.
I've got a long history with Jason Thompson.
I think we all do.
Long time ago, he helped me out. So
well, that's what he does.
That's what he does.
That's why he's a lawyer for us. So big news of the day. Make sure you tweet those photos, tag them, and we will give away randomly some gift cards later, either Pinkerton's Barbecue or Mellow Mushroom. And if Nick Trey can come up with other prizes, we'll do that. I mean, we'll figure it out. Free Whataburger.
We got our
like
first one from Trey here.
From Trey?
Trey 3025. And he's got it, 103.3.
And he's got everybody tagged properly. See, those are the rules. Starting to get those coming in. But, yeah, take a photo and put it out there on 103.3. And we will retweet. And, again, we will have some winners later. Bear County, I see you. You're coming in. Exactly. Take photos of that and send them in, and we will give away gift cards randomly later. Tom Brady retires.
Right.
This is the strangest retirement dance. And it's not the way I expected Tom Brady to go out. I am not going to hammer the GOAT. He is, I heard you earlier recording a sportscast for KTSA, say arguably the greatest of all time. It's not arguably. He is the GOAT.
But see, wait a second. Now, is he the greatest quarterback of all time? Because there were some asking the question, is he the greatest football player of all time? Now, those are two different categories.
They are, but I look at rings. I look at rings and everything that he has accomplished. Is he arguably the greatest athlete? I think you can make an argument there and come up with your top 5 GOATs in the various sports that are out there.
Right.
For me, MJ is still going to be number 1. And a guy my age, I think it's hard to replace Michael Jordan on the top of any list.
I agree with that.
But you look at, where you want to put Tiger, where you want to put, I don't know, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, think about some of the Serena,
Muhammad
Ali, although is Ali better than Mayweather? You can argue those lists. When I think quarterbacks or I think football, Tom Brady has set the standard. And so many of the records he has, while every record ultimately gets broken, I think he's got records that will never be broken.
I don't think so.
At least not in our lifetime.
Not in modern day football, right? Things are a lot different. Guys don't stay with teams as long anymore, and there's just there's too many other things that go on. But this guy, what I love about Tom Brady is, what was he drafted in the 5th round?
Yeah.
Right? Drew Bledsoe was a quarterback of the Patriots when he came in, and Drew reminds me a lot of a Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill kind of guy like that, right? He was never, a crazy good quarterback. So Brady gets him to happen, right? Takes over his job, and the rest is history. I love that.
I do too, and I love everything about Tom Brady, his career, the personality that we saw from Tom once he got to Tampa Bay, which is very reminiscent of, I look at Danny Green. Danny Green dropped a podcast 3 minutes after he got traded to Toronto.
Right.
And I remember asking him, he wanted to do it forever. Pop wouldn't allow him. And you just kind of feel like as soon as Tom got to Tampa, he was allowed to be Tom. And to think that Bill Belichick would keep anybody from being themselves, but especially Tom Brady. And you realize maybe how bad the relationship was at the end, because his post today, his original post, he thanks Tampa Bay, the coaches, people in the organization, teammates. Not one mention of New England, not one mention of the Patriots, not one mention of Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick or any of his Patriot teammates or the Boston area fans. None of that, right? until later, after the Patriots tweeted a congratulations. He had a quote tweet that says, "Love you guys," or whatever he said. I mean, it was just like, how do you post that? You're Tom Brady. How do you fumble that?
Well, and especially, look, if you've got a beef with Belichick or the organization, that's one thing. But those fans in New England loved that guy and supported that guy. And so for he needed to at least thank those guys.
And he did in the subsequent tweet.
Right. But what I'm saying is you're right. He did fumble that because he should have. Leave out Belichick, leave out Kraft, leave out the New England Patriot organization, but don't leave out the fans of New England because they were fantastic to Tom Brady and loved him. I mean, when he left, I think those people, they were devastated.
Yes.
And so you've got to thank those fans.
And Tom Brady is too detailed for that to be an oversight.
Exactly right.
You can't tell me he went, oops. I just, I was running out of characters. I was doing all these. To me, it just tells you how bad it must have gotten for Tom in New England at the end. And for him to leave that part of his life out is incredible. And then the other part, dude, Shefty broke the story on Saturday.
Yeah.
Your daddy said it wasn't true. You were quiet.
His agent
didn't deny it, but said he's not ready.
Right.
You had a podcast last night that you do every Monday. And what you said, you still needed time. Okay. And then you go to bed and you wake up this morning and you post that. I mean, you have your ability to talk to your fans and thank them. And maybe he just knew if he started that speech or started to say it, he would have broken down and he didn't want to do it.
Could be.
On a verbal level,
right?
That he wanted to write it down. He didn't. I mean, I can't imagine that guy ever losing his composure. But last night you do a podcast and say you need some time to think about it. And I think most of us, after hearing him last night, thought, okay, around March, prior to free agency, is when we're going to get the press conference. I did not expect a post this morning after what I heard last night.
It was very anticlimactic, right? Especially with that thing last night. Look, Tom can do whatever he wants to do. He's earned that right to do it. If he wanted to do it this way, that's fine. What I don't like, Jason, and we talked about this, Adam Schefter breaks the story.
Yep.
I get that. I understand. Whoever leaked that information, though, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, honestly, because what do you get out of it? Shefty's not paying you anything.
No.
You're just leaking that out to be a good guy, or you're a good source for Adam Schefter. I don't know. But whoever did that really should be ashamed of themselves.
Again, don't be mad at Shefty. That is his job.
I agree. I agree with that.
But whoever did leak it is probably gotten an earful already from Tom Brady.
I hope so.
Because this did not go. This transition could not have been the way Tom Brady envisioned it going. I thought he might wait a couple of weeks just to have Shefty twisting in the wind because if you break a story like that, and it's hard to get it to go public initially, then as a reporter, you're looking at your credibility.
Absolutely.
And, Tom Brady retiring, somebody's died. I mean, if you're going to do that, you better be 1,000% right. And I even said the other day, I'm sure he had to double check, maybe even triple check with a variety of sources. He couldn't go with one unless that one was so concrete as a reporter, you were comfortable going with it. So I'm glad it happened, but just the timing yesterday, you could have said something on your podcast. Don't you know the people at Sirius and Jim Gray are pissed that they wake up this morning to Tom's social media post saying adios.
Well, I saw Jim Gray on a national news program this morning talking about it, and you kind of got the feeling the way he was dancing around. I think Jim Gray knew.
Sure.
Right, and Tom may have said before the podcast, look, I'm not going to make it. I'm doing this, okay, but I'm not going to say anything about it here. Just go with me. And for whatever reason that is, maybe you're right. Maybe he would have broken down. I don't know. Maybe he didn't feel like that was the right time. Maybe Giselle said, look, we'll talk some more when you get home. I don't know. There's 100 million different reasons why. But I think Jim Gray knew already because those guys are pretty close. They've done a lot of things together,
sure,
in the past. Again, however Tom wants to do it, Instagram, that's fine. I just wish it would have been Tom Brady's breaking the story and not Adam Schefter. And again, I don't blame Adam Schefter.
I agree.
But the leak, that's unforgivable.
I agree. And I feel bad. I mean, yesterday we thanked him because we knew we were going to get days or weeks of content.
Absolutely.
I saw our buddy Evan Klosky, who used to work with you over at Channel 5, is now working in Tampa Bay. He had this big story last night, and they spent a lot of time and effort creating graphics. Brady watched day 8. They thought he was going to get up to, I don't know, 41, whatever, day 9. All right, story's over. What are we going to do now? And let's figure out who's going to quarterback.
Exactly right.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that could very well be a guy by the name of Jimmy G. That's a big rumor. And that leads to another question, Jason. I mean, there could be potentially a big-time quarterback shuffle in the NFL this offseason.
It's almost like the transfer portal in college football. When you look especially in the NFC, because seemingly the best young quarterback talent is in the AFC. And if Aaron Rodgers ends up in Denver, per se, and Deshaun Watson stays in the AFC, Matt Stafford's going to be with the Rams. Who knows what you're going to get with Trey Lance ultimately or Justin Fields ultimately. But you look around the league right now, the NFC, that door is opening very wide as we sit today, and who knows what changes over the course of free agency in the offseason. But if you're Jerry Jones and you're Mike McCarthy, are you not licking your chops that things have gotten very quarterback heavy, top heavy on the AFC side? It's almost like, back in the Spurs heyday, it seemed like a pretty easy path to the finals for the team from the Eastern Conference.
That's true.
And it was such a dogfight for those in the West.
Yep.
The NFC is becoming the old East from the NBA.
Well, here's the deal, though. You don't know. Kirk Cousins is another guy, I think, that leaves. I don't think he's with the Minnesota Vikings after this year. I think he goes somewhere else. So that could factor into any of the scenarios that you're talking about right there. Everybody's talking about where Garoppolo's going to go. I know Washington was one of the teams that was mentioned. Obviously, Tampa Bay is another one. So where is he going to end up? Deshaun Watson, Jason, is the guy to watch because I read a story today from a pretty reliable publication in Philadelphia that the Eagles are determined to get that guy on their football team for next season, and that could be a problem for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think, and I'd have to look at what the Eagles have as far as draft capital. They've got the 3 picks, but I just have a feeling he'll end up in Pennsylvania, but wearing yellow pants.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Mike Tomlin has to replace a legend. And Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. And a Mason Rudolph can excite Mike Tomlin.
No, I don't think it excites anybody. So, yeah, they're going to have somebody. But who does Deshaun want to play for, and will he get that opportunity ultimately? Obviously, the legal process has still got to play out. And he's already said he doesn't want to go to Philadelphia. He said that earlier.
Can't blame him.
But, if your choices dwindle down, that may be a pretty good option for you.
Here's the thing. His choices aren't going to dwindle down. As soon as the legal stuff goes away,
bam,
he's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And, I can take a year off of football. I can do all these different things. I can still help your team win immediately. And I do think Deshaun will look for a team that has everything you need minus a quarterback. And that's what scares me about Washington. But he's kind of eliminated already publicly because he does have the no trade clause. Washington, whatever they're going to be called, we'll find out tomorrow, and Philadelphia. Miami is still in play. Carolina could be in play.
Denver's another team.
Denver's the destination for old quarterbacks to go win a ring. Peyton Manning does it. And, that's where everybody seems to want to end up, and certain things are legal there. So why not? I mean,
why not?
You just look at it and you go, all right, it's going to be very, very interesting. Question is, one of the guys that was linked to Deshaun because of his coaching abilities may not be coaching next year in the NFL. One of the hottest candidates might not end up with a job at all. We'll explain as we continue.
And it might be Bill Belichick's fault.
Yeah, old man in technology, screwing up all kinds of things. We'll talk about it as we continue here on the Blitz. Troy Aikman will join us coming up in about an hour at 5:30. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. For stress-free bail bonds, it's AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149. For AA Best Bail Bonds, call 210-225-2121 or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Did Bill Belichick's lack of social media ability cost Brian Flores a job? We'll talk about that right after a SportsCenter update from James Pledger.
Thanks a lot. In the NFL, Tom Brady officially announced his retirement today via an Instagram post confirming ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter's report from over the weekend. He finishes his career with 10 Super Bowl appearances, 7 Super Bowl wins in 22 seasons. Also in the NFL, Ian Rappaport and Mike Garoppolo of the NFL Network report that Texans passing game coordinator Pep Hamilton is one of the finalists for the New York Giants offensive coordinator position on Brian Daboll's staff. Finally, the San Antonio Spurs are back in action tonight as they host the Golden State Warriors, playing their second of a back-to-back. Tip-off is set for 7:30 tonight from the AT&T Center. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You know, injuries do happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain, so if you're hurting it, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more online at tsaog.com or schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490, 804-5490.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo, and auto security headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Are you thinking about selling your car? Don't get tricked with 2-minute offers only to spend 4 hours at a dealership. I want you to check out my friends at Car Zeus. It's Rudy J here. Car Zeus is not a dealership, so you don't need to worry about shady sales tactics just to lure you in the door. I'm talking about saving you time and hassle. Simply fill out a form about your car's condition at carzeus.com, and a local agent will text you an offer during business hours. No obligation. Plus, they pay the same day and even provide a courtesy Lyft ride home. That's carzeus.com.
If you're a guy over 30 and feeling frustrated about your health, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Are work and relationships getting you down? Do you feel a lack of energy and focus on the things that matter to you most? All men around age 30 have the potential for their testosterone levels to decline naturally. When that happens, life can feel out of control. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health with Synergenix testosterone replacement therapy. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250, 103.3 FM.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
I didn't know we did rehearsals here.
Me neither. I don't know what the hell is going on. Not sure what's going on with Pledge on the other side of the glass today. He
Pledge
is on
working
Twitter
hard, man.
at I am Pledger. A lot of people tweeting photos of their presets of 103.3.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Keep doing that. Tweet at SA Sports Star, at Joe Kens 5, at Jason Minix. You can add Pledger, Rudy, and Rob, everybody in there. You can also do everything on Instagram and tag us there. Reinagel's the only one with an odd Instagram handle. It's Joe Reinagel _Kens 5 on Insta. But tweet those photos of your preset at 103.3 FM as we have moved. Today's our first day where we're taller and thinner. So when you look at that, at the end of the night, at some point later tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, depends on how much beer I drink tonight.
Right.
We're gonna pick a handful of random winners that will get gift cards to Mellow Mushroom or Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Those are two great prizes.
They really are. And
wow.
You know, it's interesting because I asked our promotions guy, hey, what do you have? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, anybody not pick up stuff from any old contest? Because if you win something, you have 30 days.
Right.
Well, there are a couple of idiots that won the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge every week, or not every week, but on a random week, but they didn't claim their prize. So after 30 days, that's in the official rules. So basically, we're regifting stuff from people that didn't pick up, but what the hell?
But they actually have a chance to win again.
They
right?
could.
I mean, they could. So you can make up for lost time. If you forgot about it or just couldn't get by, then, well, you can win again. Send us a picture, 1033,
yep.
And
see it on your preset. You know what I'm really enjoying about seeing all these tweets of the presets? Seeing what else you guys listen to. I mean, that's the interesting part. The variety of music mix from those that also listen to sports talk radio. It's kind of a interesting sidebar study, but I have noticed a lot of you like the rock stations, 102.7 Jack FM, which is one of ours.
That's nice.
Seeing a couple other rock stations in there, but it is kind of interesting to see the various presets.
Well, folks should have a variety.
Yeah,
right?
but it is a little odd when you see like somebody's listening to us and then KQ 102. I mean, that is not something I really expected to see.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes you want to be mellow.
Sure.
Right.
My guess is that's when she might be in the car.
Could be.
I mean, are you listening to us and then the soccer mom station?
Well,
I mean, you know, unless you share a car with the soccer mom or she's got the preset.
And then you have it preset. So when she gets out of the car, you immediately change it back.
You know, there's an old joke that, I don't know, 91% of the people listening to this station are men. And the 9% of females are stuck in the car whose husbands won't let them change. And I know that's not true, but it is kind of interesting to see the various presets there. So did I mention Troy Aikman's coming up in about an hour?
I don't think so. Have you?
There's a Hall of Fame quarterback that is going to join us.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
In about an hour. Best analyst on TV when it comes to football.
No question. He had a great, how would you call it, synopsis commentary about Jimmy G. During the game.
He did.
Right? And he said it before, and it came true after.
You know, Tony Romo gets all the credit for, you know, predicting the future of what's going to happen. When the Rams scored and Troy had just a very subtle line, well, they're going to have to put this in Jimmy G's hands, and I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be 100% accurate.
Absolutely.
I mean, but the analysis that you get from Troy and the reasons why one of the things that makes Troy so good on air, a lot of former players and or coaches, especially if they think they're going to get back in, don't want to be overly critical. They understand how difficult the job is. I do believe that is one of the reasons Peyton Manning never wanted to do it while his brother was playing, because he didn't want to have to criticize his brother.
Sure.
Some are good at it. Some are a little over the top. Troy is brilliant at it because he can be very critical in a way where you don't feel like you just got chewed out by your high school coach, right?
That's
where
true.
You don't take offense to it, because I think any player that hears it, criticism from Troy, they go back and look at film and they go, yeah, it sucks, but he's right.
Yeah, absolutely he's right. And you're right about that. And Troy doesn't get all excited or passionate. You know, he just kind of even keel the whole time, right? And he tells you what's going on or what they're going to have to do or what they did wrong and what they need to do better. So it's I'm looking forward to talking to him. I've got a lot of questions for him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
I can't wait.
I know. You
think he knows anything about the internet?
Probably. Well, you got to give that to me.
I mean, I keep trying again. Here.
I mean, old man and technology.
I can't help that the internet's not good.
Doesn't work. And, you know, the sad part here is that's a very pathetic segue on my part of setting up Bill Belichick not knowing who he was texting with.
Yeah.
Is getting a whole bunch of people sued. Right? I mean, when you hear this story, this actually is going to, it starts and ends, or at least starts, with Bill Belichick texting the wrong Brian in his phone. Now, think about that for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I can see where that'd be easy to do. The problem is I think that the text from Belichick is kind of the cherry on top when it comes to Brian Flores suing everybody. And we say everybody. There's 3 teams now that he has filed a class action lawsuit, and the NFL, by the way. So that'd be the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, and the New York Giants.
Well, and then you look at it. So what had happened was apparently, and there's screenshots in this lawsuit, that Bill Belichick is texting with a guy named Brian. In his phone, it's listed as Brian. You're going to get the Giants job. Well, I interview on Thursday. Nah, man, you're going to get it. 3 days before the interview with Brian Flores, Bill Belichick already knew that Brian Daboll was going to get the job. If you want it. Well, yeah, I want it. And then Flores realizes this isn't adding up. Are you texting Brian Flores or Brian Daboll?
Yeah.
And he even says, Belichick, I effed this up. Sorry,
yes.
Dude.
Yeah, no. Sorry, my bad.
and again, Brian Flores files lawsuits today against the Giants because the Rooney Rule's a sham.
That's exactly right.
And he's mad as hell that he was going to go through that process and not get it. And in the lawsuit, he was offered $100,000 a loss.
So he says.
to tank games in Miami
in 2019.
It's incredible. And you think, well, he's a finalist right now for the Texans job. Who's going to hire him right now? He's suing the league.
Nobody's going to hire him. He says as much. He knows that this might cost him his job, but he says that some causes are a little more important. And he says if this brings to light what is going on in the NFL right now, then it's worth it to him. Because quite frankly, Jason, nobody's going to hire him in the NFL. Nobody is going to hire this guy. He's crossed that line, right? So, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He has decided this is the battle he's going to fight. Win, lose, or draw, that's what he wants to do. It may cost him an NFL job forever.
I wonder, because this goes back to the last guy that was suing the league that I remember, and Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
And then everybody wondered why he wasn't getting a job. I wonder if Flores, though, if, say, the Houston Texans decided that was our guy, finds out about this today, do they still hire him? Because,
no.
If they don't, does that get them added into this lump sum? And so you look at it, it is such a bizarre story and such weird timing that he would file the lawsuit now as opposed to waiting a couple of weeks to see if he actually got a job. But I appreciate him saying this is wrong on every level, and a lawsuit is the only way to try to fix this broken system. We talked about it the other day. If Mike McCarthy gets fired next year and Sean Payton ends up with the job, the Dallas Cowboys will have to interview at least one black coach to satisfy the Rooney Rule, or one minority coach.
And so
everybody would know that it was BS.
Right. Yeah, and that's the problem.
And I think that's worse.
Well,
I think that's worse.
Look, first of all, there needs to be more minority head coaches.
Yes.
There absolutely has to be. Mike Tomlin is the only black head coach, right? And that's ridiculous. When, 75, 80% of the players are black. So having said all of that, I mean, there's still, you got to think a little bit of the good old boy thing going on among the owners and some of the executives there. And that's got to change. And I think what happened here with Brian Flores is when he got this email and that mistake from Bill Belichick, he said, that's it. I've overlooked it for too long. Now I've got to do something, even if it costs me a job in the NFL.
And again, depending on how much he makes on the lawsuit, but I mean, he's been in the league a long time. I would hope that he's, saved and maybe invested well, and there'll be opportunities for him doing something somewhere. But I just look at it and you think about, if you know who you want to hire, regardless of race, and it seems like that's what the Giants are doing here. They targeted Dayball. They wanted Dayball as soon as they got him. All right, well, here's the other things that we're going to have to do. And that's not fair to Brian Flores. It's not fair to any of the minority candidates that are out there. But at the same time, once you know who you want, like Sean Payton,
Sure.
I mean, everybody in the world knows that Jerry Jones would love to hire Sean Payton. If that happens in the next year, who's going to be the guy that had the interview that really wasn't an interview? And that's just crap.
Well, everybody else but Sean Payton. If that's the guy, then everybody else that comes in, it's a sham.
And you look at last year, Jerry interviewed two people, Mike McCarthy and Marvin Lewis.
Right.
Does anybody really think Marvin Lewis had an opportunity to get that job last year?
Because Jerry and Steven both wanted Mike McCarthy. Steven made that pretty clear even before the whole process that he wanted Mike McCarthy. Marvin Lewis isn't in the league right now. He doesn't have a job. So, it's look, they've either got to look at this Rooney Rule and fix it somehow, some way. Look, I've never been a believer in hiring somebody just to hire them because of their skin color or whatever. You hire the most qualified person for that job. However, what we're seeing here and what is coming to light, and it always does, is there is a little bit of a good old boy network going on among the owners, and that needs to change.
It certainly does. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Make sure you get that locked in to your preset buttons day one on 103.3. We head to L.A. next week. All next week, we're going to be on Radio Row for our big game coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. I'm glad we're not actually going to the game and having to fork over money for the tickets. The most expensive ticket in Super Bowl history. We'll give you details as we continue on at the Blitz. Troy Aikman will join us coming up at 5:30. Let me tell you about Garageization. You know, when I moved into the new house a couple years ago, can't believe it's actually been 2 years already, I needed an organization solution for my garage. It just wasn't big enough, didn't have the same storage area that I had at the old house. Found Garageization actually because my neighbor had called them, and I love the work that they did at my neighbor's house. Called them, they came out to my house. We looked at my garage, what I wanted to spend, what I needed, and I got these incredible industrial shelves that are great because, well, they're a shelf, so you got your storage above or on top of the shelf, but they've got these adjustable bars underneath so you can hang items and, utilize the versatility, utilize all that space. I love how organized my garage is now. If you need to organize your garage, get both cars in, the kids' bikes, all your coolers, all the other stuff, call Garageization. Talk to them about shelves, overhead racks, closed storage, slat walls. Make your garage functional for the entire family. Since 2008, the veteran-owned Garageization has been helping San Antonians love their garage. Call them. They will give you a customized plan for your garage. Go to the website, garageorganizationsanantonio.com. That's garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
We're following the Bengals and Rams all the way to L.A. Live all week leading up to the big game. Coverage starts Monday morning at 7. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Let me tell you, nobody wants to have roofing problems, all right? It's just a hassle, and you don't want it. Nobody wants it. But if you do, and you find yourself, I got the solution for you. Stevens Roofing Company. All right. They are proud to serve all the great people here in South Texas. They're family owned. I tell you what, I went in this place and I felt like family right away. And it wasn't just me. Everybody that walked in that place, they made them feel comfortable, offered them coffee, drinks, whatever they wanted. It was just a family atmosphere because that's what they are. They're family owned, a local company. They're not a fly-by-night company. You don't have to worry about that because in the roofing business, there is a lot of that going on. Not Stevens Roofing. In fact, they're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Whatever you need, commercial, residential, metal, composition, doesn't matter. They're going to give you a free estimate. They've got financing available, and this might be the best part. They're going to work with your insurance company, and they guarantee their work, and they will stand behind it. All you have to do is go to stevensroofing.net or give them a call at 210-785-0994. Again, it's Stevens Roofing. They are your local roofer.
Stomach.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol Chews.
Pepto-Bismol's in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Ooh, let me try it.
Try Pepto-Bismol Chews for fast relief.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
But they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Your home for sports talk is right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Always nice to hear Rudy J in the afternoon.
Rudy J.
Not many can get away with wearing a full sweatsuit unless they're walking the mall, unless his name is Rudy J.
Well, and I like the hat, too, that he's got on here as well. Yeah, the hat, the sweatsuit, the tennis shoes. He looks sharp.
He looks sharp. He just came up to me and is like, dude, you doing all right? You need a shot. You're about to meet your man crush. Troy Aikman at about 5:30, so in about 40 minutes from right now.
Looking forward to that, Jason. I tell you what, he's just it's always good to talk to him. You know, usually I don't get the opportunity to sit next to him. That's going to be fun. Number one. Number two, it's usually in like a group, interview session at training camp or somewhere else, and so that's nice. So it's going to be nice to ask him a few questions that I genuinely want to know. You know what I mean?
Well, and again, it's the launch of his new beer 8.
Yes.
Which is going to be pretty cool.
That is going to be cool. And, oh, by the way, if you're listening on 103.3, shoot us a picture.
Yes.
It might be worth your while. We're going to give away some prizes, the Mellow Mushroom and
Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Pinkerton's Barbecue. That's coming up. We've gotten a lot, so keep them coming on Twitter or on Instagram. And I'm Joe Kins 5. What are you?
I'm at Jason Minutes.
At Jason. I guess I'm at.
Yeah.
Joe Kins 5,
at
right.
Joe Kins 5 on Twitter. On the Instagram, you're Joe Reinagel _Kins 5.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
but, it did. Right?
It did. But yeah, make sure you tag at SA Sports Star, at Joe Kins 5, at Jason Minix. You can tag Rudy because he loves being tagged. At I Am Pledger, at Rob. He doesn't check his very often. But tag us all with photos of 103.3 on your preset. And then later tonight, or depending on how much 8 beer I drink tonight, tomorrow morning, we're just going to randomly pick some winners. And we've got some gift cards to Mellow Mushroom and Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Right. And we've gotten a lot. There's been a lot of choices. So get your name in the hat. This might not be the only time we do this, right? This is not a one-day thing. We might.
No. And again, it's day one on 103.3. Right. And so if you're, because I saw some people this morning going, what the hell happened to 94.5? And, there's been times where you'd get the bleed through from a rock station, but it wasn't rock that you were hearing this morning, and it confused some people.
It did. And I just want to know from everybody that's listening on 103.3, does Jason seem taller? All right, when you're listening to Jason, is he taller today than he was yesterday? That's what I want to know.
Dude, 8's showing up. I'm on cloud 9. 656 ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. How tall do I sound? And I don't know, because we're heading to L.A. next week.
Yes, we are.
All next week we'll be in Los Angeles. And I was thinking, if the Cowboys had made it, I'd have figured out how I was going to go to that game. Because people have said, you go there, you're there all week, and then all of a sudden you come home.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I've been to a couple of Super Bowls.
Yes.
Unless the Dallas Cowboys are in it, I don't want to be at the stadium on Super Bowl Sunday. I just don't. That's I'd rather come home and watch it on TV. Although if the Cowboys had made it this Super Bowl, I can only imagine how much it would cost, because this is going to be the highest ticket price in Super Bowl history. Right now, the average per ticket is just north of $10,000, $10,237.
Right. So only, high-paid celebrities and corporate types can usually go to this game. And can I just say something about that? I wanted to bring this up yesterday. And I want to ask Troy about this. And I'm sure he has no say-so over it at all. But Fox, during their broadcast on Sunday, made a point to show every celebrity that was in every suite at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
You know what?
I don't.
Who cared? Your wife. Oh, they're at the game. Look at them.
Absolutely not. And she didn't say that.
Oh, maybe not. She was thinking it.
It's like Leonardo DiCaprio and, I can't remember who else was there, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. Wow.
Brian Hankinson.
Yeah.
Half a peace sign to you, my brother.
Which half?
Not the number one.
Yeah.
Somebody he posted on Facebook, I sound all of 5 feet tall.
Dude,
as long as I tower over Brad Williams, I'm good.
So during the Super Bowl, I really hope that NBC just doesn't make a point to show every celebrity that is, chunking out $200 or $300 grand to sit in a suite.
They will.
And I know, but I don't want to see it. I don't care.
Well,
I really don't care.
I mean, you're the get off my lawn type.
No, I just don't want to see a bunch of. Who cares? They're all richer than I am, right? They can go to the game. They can sit in a suite. They can drink high-dollar alcohol.
Sure.
I don't. I'm drinking 8 or Miller Lite. I mean, come on.
I'm with you, but it is. I don't know. I mean, a lot of it is they're promoting whatever shows are coming up on Fox. A lot of those celebrities are planted there. And, it's LA. You expect to see the glitz. I'm hoping next week at some of the Super Bowl parties that we go to that there will be that element of it. It makes it fun. I mean, you've heard the stories. I mean, we were in Minnesota just drinking beer at a party, and it was Zach Brown was with us.
You didn't even know who he was.
I didn't know who he was. It was cool because you're hanging out with a dude who's, big-time star, and he's just drinking with Brad Paisley was there too. I didn't know who that was.
Right.
I mean,
well, that's good.
There's
a start.
There's that kind of energy that comes with the Super Bowl parties.
That's fine, Jason, but I don't want the cameras of NBC showing me every celebrity that just happened to buy a suite that particular day. And Fox did it all day long during that game, and it's like, who cares?
Well,
I don't want to see it.
Right now in a VIP section, you, Joe, can get a ticket for $72,750. So you don't have to see that, and that doesn't include the fees.
Well, see, Leonardo DiCaprio can do that, and that's like me pulling out a $20 bill for him, right?
You
I mean, that's
bastard.
nothing, right? So, I look, I want to watch football. I don't give a damn what celebrity is in the stadium. I don't care.
It's L.A., there's always going to be celebrities. It's no different than when you're watching a Laker game or a Clipper game. You're going to see that. And, I mean, as long as I'm with you, I don't need the overkill. But here's somebody. I don't. The sad part for me is I don't know who most of those are anyway.
I just remember sitting there and seeing that every celebrity, and it wasn't just a shot that he's here or she's here or this is that. It was like they'd focus in on them and say, oh, there's DiCaprio talking to so-and-so, and I wonder what he's drinking, and I don't know what he's doing. They weren't even paying attention to the football game. That's the other thing. It's a social event for those folks.
It is.
They don't care.
It is. But, Aikman wasn't analyzing what they were drinking.
I think it was Buck. It wasn't Aikman.
I think Joe Buck was pointing out a hockey relative of his in some way or another, which I appreciated because, you had a hockey player there. And you were talking some hockey. Joe Reinagel on Twitter at Get Off My Lawn, damn it. Think about this, though. I wouldn't even pay the fees. StubHub's cheapest ticket right now, $5,490 with a convenience fee of $1,413, making the total $6,905.68.
Piece of cake.
$1,500 service fee
for one ticket. Yeah. So if you need 2, you want to take your wife, $15,000.
Well,
and where's that going to be? I mean, who knows?
That's the cheapest ticket.
Ticket.
That's a ITB ticket in the building, an ITB ticket. A great place to go watch that Super Bowl, and it won't cost you $1,500 in service fees.
No,
the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. It is the best place to watch a game. No better place to go to watch any game, whether you're talking about the fight Saturday night, the big game a week from Sunday. 281 in Redland, because they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And that's my home away from home. And I've said many times, not only is it a great bar, it's a great restaurant. The food is fantastic at the Rue Pub, all made from scratch. They have the best and biggest wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, a great chicken sandwich, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. So if you're out somewhere late and you're hungry, don't go to a drive-thru. Go have a good meal there at the Rue Pub. Of course, they've got all the beers you want. They'll have 8. They have the full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole. And they have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. The Rue Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
San Antonio sports star is headed to L.A. Get the latest news, moves, analysis, and world-class roster of guests all week leading up to the game. R&R in the morning, halftime, and the Blitz all live from Los Angeles.
Radio Row, we get to talk to Michael Irvin, but this time it's in person.
Coverage starts Monday morning at 7. Big game coverage powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. San Antonio sports star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You know, if you've been dealing with tooth pain all your life, and you gotta get it fixed. Maybe you recently got divorced or single again. You got to fix those bad teeth now. If you're back in the game, you know what I mean. You got to go see Dr. Mark Havercorn over at River City Oral Surgery. If you've dealt with cavities followed by fillings, more fillings, root canals, crowns, only to have the pain come back, stop spending money and time at the dentist every few years for that work to fail. Maybe you need implants from River City Oral Surgery. And the great thing about River City Oral Surgery is they offer direct patient care. You know exactly what it's going to cost you before you go in. You want implants? It's $1,300 per implant. A tooth pulled, $325. Wisdom teeth out, it's $1,000. Financing is available, but it's cash. And when I say cash, you put it on your credit card. You can write them a check. They have financing available. What they don't take is your insurance. What they will do, though, is work with you if you have dental insurance to file a claim, and maybe you get some of that money back. And you don't need a referral. You don't have to go to a dentist to say, well, you need to have these pulled out. Well, because the insurance requires you to do that. You don't have to mess with that. You just call River City Oral Surgery and make a referral or make an appointment. You don't need that referral. Call 210-778-0002, 778-0002, or online, rivercityoms.com.
Diamonds Direct makes it easy to go over the top this Valentine's with an expanded selection of the most romantic gifts, special designer trunk shows, and the return of our most popular offer ever, 5 years, 0 interest financing. Now through Valentine's Day, we've teamed up with the nation's most sought-after designers with a spectacular selection of affordable and timeless gifts. And with 5 years, 0 interest financing, you can go big. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings and you pay $50 a month, or a $4,000 diamond tennis bracelet for just $67 a month? It's a fact. Jewelry is the #1 gift for Valentine's, and Diamonds Direct is the #1 destination. We'll help you find the ideal gift at the best price, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Visit us in-store now or shop online for some great romantic gift ideas at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. On approved credit.
Was the guy who wrecked the company vehicle distracted because he was too busy making a TikTok video instead of watching the road? He still only has 2 followers, his mom and dad. But now you're hurt and need help. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303 24 hours a day.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenix. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Mother's Window Tint, Your Car Stereo, and Auto Security Headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
From the QC Kinetic Studio.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Troy Aikman.
The Troy Aikman.
The Troy Aikman will join us any minute now. Scheduled to be 5:30, but he's early. So I don't know if that means he's going to join us earlier or if we're going to wait till 5:30. We will find out.
Here's the deal. Whenever Troy wants to join us, he's welcome to join us. How about that?
Yeah, pretty much. I realize, there's formatics and stuff that we're supposed to do, but, sometimes, your game plan goes out the window. You throw the playbook out the window and you just have to improvise.
That's right. Run to the mailbox and cut right. Yeah, I got you. Just like that. Just like Aikman and Irvin used to do.
Absolutely. You're going to play me that far off? I'm just going to
exactly
dig
right.
And that's what we're going to do. So, I realize in radio a lot of times, if you leave work at the same time and you're driving somewhere, you hear us doing, say, a sports center at a certain time. And, if you're at that particular location, you're on time or you're running late, right? We're going to screw you up today.
It may change.
In fact, I think we already have, as we do that. It's day one on 103.3 FM. So what we're doing today is take a photo of your car radio, your preset. Show us that it's been preset. Tweet it to us, Instagram to us. Make sure you tag at SA Sports Star. Tag Joe, tag me. He's at Joe Kents 5. I'm at Jason Minix. I'm the same on Instagram. He's at Joe Reinagel _Kents 5 on Instagram.
That's right.
And tag everybody. And we're going to give away randomly some gift cards to Mellow Mushroom and to Pinkerton's Barbecue.
You know what I found out when we've gotten a lot of pictures, by the way.
Yes, we have.
A lot of these people have some really nice cars. Man, I tell you, we've got a very high class audience.
We do.
Very high class.
We do. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I find interesting is seeing all the other stations listed on the presets. What else are you guys listening to?
Well, the pictures I've seen, it only shows us, and I don't know, maybe I'm missing it. You know how technologically
smart you are,
or dumb. Maybe that's the thing. But I've just noticed a lot of nice. I like that one you're looking at right now.
Eric Benton.
That looks nice.
That does.
Right?
So like he's in a
I'm
nice
just saying,
truck.
hey, congratulations to all of you folks out there because
although Eric, dude, we're FM2. Who's FM1? Dude, there are bonus points if we're FM1.
Oh,
I mean, not really, but kind of now that I'm noticing.
Yeah.
I mean, and what I do find interesting, the people that had 103.3 already programmed in.
That's nice. And a lot of them did because as soon as you said that to start the show today, I mean, bam, 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 bam. We got a bunch of pictures right off the bat. So that was good news. They're already paying attention. So that's great. And I just appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate everybody that's sending in pictures and just be careful. All right. Pull over before you take the picture.
Yeah. Carl said he almost got into a wreck trying to take a picture. So, I mean, not that Carl, a different Carl. Carl Schoening is here as well.
Yeah, he is.
But you look at the idea and, sometimes, when you talk into a microphone, like today we're at an event, you see people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have no idea. You tell a joke, like a comedian tells a joke, and they know if it was a good joke or a bad joke instantly, depending on crowd reaction. Yeah. In radio, you have no idea.
No clue.
And it's just nice to see, Hey, tweet a photo, and boom, all of a sudden, boom, 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 you get that.
We're not just talking. It's not you and me just talking.
Well, and we know better.
Actually, people out there.
But sometimes, it is.
Right.
Especially for the new guy. He needs to feel the love.
I do, and I appreciate the love, and I appreciate all because, and they're not sending them all to your Twitter account. So it's kind of nice.
Well, and that's why we want to tag in everybody. And by the way, make sure you're following all of us as well.
Right. Yeah, please. And I think everybody is. Most everybody sent a picture. So I appreciate that. I'm very happy for all of you folks out there because they've all got nice cars.
Think Ancira.
Wow.
That's kind of what it boils down to. Things do work. Troy Aikman in the building will join us momentarily. You think about the legendary quarterback that he is, the legendary announcer that he is now, 20 years at Fox. Tom Brady announces his retirement today. And you talk about the greatest quarterback of all time. You might even say greatest football player of all time. Although you can't ever call him the greatest athlete of all time, but maybe you can. The guy has accomplished so much, but it's just weird how his retirement has gone down.
I don't think you can call him the best athlete of all time. I think that's a little bit of a stretch because that's a whole different category. Now, if you want to call him the best football player of all time, I'm with you there. I can see that happening. Athlete's a little different. But the way this happened, to me, it not that it puts a damper on things, but it just shouldn't have happened this way. And I don't blame Adam Schefter. Tom Brady had a chance last night to do this. He waited till this morning to do it on Instagram. But whoever leaked out the information really should be ashamed of themselves, and I hope you get a stomach ache tonight.
Well, and again, whoever leaked it out, Shefty did his job, and I'm sure that person probably isn't going to get a Christmas card this year. But then, it breaks over the weekend, and immediately the Brady love all weekend. And, it's kind of like, when somebody passes away, all the accolades, say that to the person while they're alive.
Yeah.
At least Tom got to sit back and enjoy watching all the different things that were about him. Madden got to watch that program right before he passed away, and we know he watched it with his family. But then last night he did his podcast and didn't say anything, said he still hadn't made a decision. So he goes to bed and wakes up this morning and says, all right, let me post on Instagram, I'm done. It's just the timing of it is just very, very weird.
Extremely weird because last night he says, look, I've got to talk to the wife, talk to the family. I want to spend some time with them. And I guess, 12 hours spending time with them last night was enough because he makes his decision and decides to retire. It's bittersweet, obviously. He played longer than most people do in the NFL. But, man, what a great run.
An incredible run. And, again, the way, like even his announcement. Now, the one thing we know about Tom Brady is his attention to detail. It can't be an oversight that in his long-ass post today, he did not mention or thank the New England Patriots, any of the Patriots coaches, teammates, fans, Robert Kraft. In his initial statement, he thanked everybody in the Bucs organization, including the janitor, but he didn't thank anybody or even mention the Patriots. It was like he had a 2-year career, and that was it. Now, once the Patriots put something out, he did thank the Patriots and the fans up there.
Yes.
But it was odd that his initial post did not thank the New England Patriots.
I think that tells you everything you need to know about how that whole situation ended. Everybody always thought that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were tied at the hip, right? They had to have each other.
Yep.
One without the other was not going to do any good at all. Well, obviously Brady proved that was false when he goes down to Tampa Bay and wins the Super Bowl right away. But then when we hear him today and you find out he doesn't thank Belichick or anybody else in New England, you realize that there was a rift there, and it did not end on happy terms.
It didn't, but again, not to mention them. That was just...
Well, especially the fans.
Just all of it. This whole thing from Saturday to his agent being vague, his dad saying it's not true, to his podcast last night where he says he needs time to sleep on it. I don't know if he's doing endorsements for the same mattress that Dak does and a lot of the NFL guys, the sleep whatever, right? Did he sleep at a Holiday Inn last night? I doubt it. But, I mean, what happened from his podcast last night to this morning for him to decide now is the time to make it public?
His house could probably be a Holiday Inn. It's probably that big. But
I think it'd be more like one of the JW Marriott resorts.
Right, exactly right. He had his mind made up. I think that's pretty obvious. His mind was made up. He knew what he was going to do during the podcast last night. And for whatever reason, just didn't want to announce it last night. He was, maybe he was too emotional. Maybe he did have to go talk to Giselle one more time, or his kids, or whatever the case may be. But I think he knew what he was going to do all along. He just wanted to wait for the right time, and maybe he wanted Shefty, flying in the wind a little bit.
But he didn't fly long enough. I mean, Shefty was right, and maybe he wanted to make sure it was February 1st. I don't know. But again, I go back to what happened in New England, because it wasn't until the Patriots Twitter released the statement from Robert Kraft that he quote tweeted it and said, "Thank you, Patriots Nation. I'm beyond grateful. Love you all." I mean, wow.
And that's kind of a, thank you, but goodbye.
Kinda.
Yeah, right?
I mean, any of you that have an ex, you understand that meaning right there. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, you guys, appreciate. Yeah. I mean, you were a part of my life, but I've moved on.
It's not always the appreciation there. There are things that don't work out that well. But having said all that, I mean, at least, I don't know, man. I really wish he would have gushed a little more, because I remember when he left New England, those fans, Jason, were just devastated. I mean, they were devastated. I mean, he had played there the whole time, and they were completely devastated. And it was sad for the fans. I really was a little sad for them. I wish he would have thanked them a little more.
It is a very bad analogy, but seeing Tony Parker in another uniform was always weird.
Yep.
I don't know that I could have handled seeing Timmy or Manu in a different uniform. And it's weird because Tony, for so many years, was the only guy that you thought of the big three that could get traded. It would be him.
Right.
But it was just weird seeing Tony Parker in another uniform. To imagine being a Patriots fan and having to spend time seeing Tom not only in another uniform, but go win a Super Bowl. I think back to Emmitt Smith, how weird it was that he was in a Cardinals uniform. And some of the greats, Peyton Manning did it to the Colts, but because of injury, the Colts had Andrew Luck and they were ready to go. They had to. I mean, and I think a lot of the Colts fans were okay with it because, well, we got Andrew Luck here.
Yeah.
And, your neck, I don't know if you're going to be able to walk again. It's such a different situation than what Tom Brady was in. He just needed a challenge. He went and he proved that he could get it done without Bill Belichick.
Boy, and he did, man. And that's one of the greatest sports stories in the history of sports. Having Tom Brady leave the New England Patriots, where he had so much success, to go to Tampa Bay and then, win another Super Bowl there. That is just absolutely one of the best stories in sports.
All right, we're going to shift some things up. We're a little early for the break, but Troy is ready. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, the legend, Troy Aikman, will join us here on the Blitz. Now, it's kind of cold. Maybe not today, but it's going to get cold. Rodeo is right around the corner. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on winter gear. Get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over on San Pedro. Sam has his winter line on display in his showroom right now. Jackets, coats, hoodies, half-zips, beanies. He's got all the big-name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Port Authority, Nike, to name a few. And he's got plenty of inventory in stock. And he also has a lot of caps in stock, the largest selection of caps, including the Richardson style cap. And it's not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts as well for any occasion. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
We'll start things off with college basketball as it's a battle of top 25 teams in the Big 12 as the 23rd-ranked Texas Longhorns take on 14th-ranked Texas Tech in Lubbock. Chris Beard was not well received by his former alma mater in Lubbock as he went to Texas this offseason, and their team bus was met with booze and expletives upon its arrival. Tip-off is set for 8 o'clock tonight, and that game will be televised on ESPN2. The Texas A&M Aggies face 22nd-ranked Tennessee with tip-off from Knoxville set for 6 as the Aggies look to snap a 4-game losing streak. While in the NBA, the Spurs are back in action tonight to take on the Golden State Warriors, who are playing their second of a back-to-back, coming off a 122-108 win over the Houston Rockets last night. Tip-off from the AT&T Center is set for 7:30. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you're a guy over 30 and feeling frustrated about your health, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Are work and relationships getting you down? Do you feel a lack of energy and focus on the things that matter to you most? All men around age 30 have the potential for their testosterone levels to decline naturally. When that happens, life can feel out of control. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health with Synergenix Testosterone Replacement Therapy. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Get some green cash, money when you bring us your old or used Kubota equipment. That's dinero in your pocket. Or trade in for a brand new Kubota compact tractor, Kubota construction equipment, or whatever else you might have on your Kubota wish list. Breaking up is hard to do, but we're talking green, baby. So don't miss out on the Ewald Kubota Trade Orange for Green cash offer going on now. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Predict the perfect score and win $50,000.
We want more money.
Presented by Beach Tractor. Guess now and win at sasportstar.com.
Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Oh, fumbled that. 103.3 FM. Today is our first day on a new FM frequency. It's 103.3, so it's going to take a while to get used to it. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel. Troy Aikman is joining us here. Hall of Fame quarterback, great announcer, and now the beer maker.
Yeah. How about that?
It's pretty good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited about it. We just launched today, February 1st. Been working hard for the last couple of years, and couldn't wait to get to this point, and here we are, and it's why I'm in San Antonio now, and we'll be traveling around the state of Texas, but look forward to hearing how everybody thinks of it, and I think they're going to really love it.
Well, I think it's great. We had an opportunity to sample a little bit of it, but I wanted to ask you, why? Was this something you always wanted to do?
Not so much. I did work at a beer distributorship when I was in college,
Okay.
And then when I came to Dallas, I became very close friends with a beer distributor there in town, and did a lot of stuff with his distributorship, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be making beer. But through a mutual friend, I met my now partners, and we started talking about it. And I thought, hey, if we can make a light beer, which is what I drink, and we can do it that it's differently, then I'd be all in. And I think that the space needs something new, something fresh. And so we went down this path, and 8 was born. And what makes it, we're low calorie, low carb, but what makes 8 unique is that we have no adjuncts. We have no fillers, no corn, no rice, no syrups, no sugars. And there's no other widely available beer that I know of that can say that. And so I always refer to it as a better for you beer, and 100% organic grains. And so if you, I work out, I worry about that. I'm mindful of what I put in my body, but I also like to have a good time with when the moment presents itself.
Sure.
And I figure, hey,
absolutely,
this is something that you don't compromise all that hard work in the process.
No, you talk about a lot of the when you're developing 8, the natural and the working out light beers, right? Now, some of us work out more than others, right? I mean, but I thanks, but I am a light beer drinker.
Yeah,
and I was trying to figure out, what does this taste like, because what I thought it was going to be and what it is very different.
What did you think it was going to be?
I thought you were chasing like the Ultra Crowd or Miller Lite. Miller Lite's my beer of choice. I kind of thought it was more like a Yingling Flight, which I think is a great beer too. Light beer.
Yeah, so the beer distributorship that I worked at was a Miller distributorship. I have been a light beer drinker, but I felt that for the reasons that we made it and doing it in a way that I think is unique and different than all the other beers that are available, I also think our beer tastes really good. I don't think we sacrifice taste. And so that was important to me. And I feel good with what we came up with, and the response from everyone who has tried it has been overwhelmingly positive. And I know when we went around and we met with a lot of distributors and told them what we were planning to do and whether or not they wanted to get on board, they were as enthusiastic, if not more enthusiastic than we were. And that only got me more and more excited. So we've had a lot of good things go our way, and the retailers that are going to be carrying it, the interest has excited them, and they've placed quite a bit of orders. So we're looking forward to that part of it.
I got to tell you, the can is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Did you have something to do with that design? Because
I did.
There's one guy at a radio station that always has that on his trophy case.
Oh yeah,
right, Rob Thompson. Yeah, he's got it on his trophy case already.
Is this Rob here?
That's
Rob
right there. Yeah.
Rob, Rob's my man. We need more guys like Rob.
He didn't want to drink it. He just wanted to save it for a souvenir.
Drink it, I'll get you another one.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just keep replacing it. But I love the can. I do love the can. And we went through the whole exercise. People would now, it seems like whenever you come up with a name, then it just seems like, well, how could you have ever named it anything other than that? But we went through the exercise. We kept coming back to 8. We talked to a lot of other people. They thought it was a no-brainer, had to be 8. So then when we began the packaging side of it, I thought the agency that we used that came up with what we ultimately have, I thought it was genius. The logo is a colon, but on a white can, it looks like an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I explain that because it's amazing. Some people just see the colon, and then others, when you explain, they go, yeah, of course, there's an 8. I get that. But some people don't see the 8 initially. So I try to remind people in case they haven't. But I love the design. I love the packaging. I think it's simple and clean, much like the beer itself.
And it's going to be only available in Texas originally, which is brilliant on your part. Small, dominate Texas, and then go out. Everybody has asked me, since we got a chance to sample it ahead of time a week ago when we put it on socials, when is it going to be available?
Well, it is available
today.
It's
starting
available
today.
Starting today. Yes, it is only available on premise currently.
Okay.
And as I was saying, the distributors got it today, so it'll probably be more like Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, before some people are able to actually get it, as these distributors get it out to the proper places. But it will be available on premise in select restaurants and bars. And then once the stores do their resets, we'll have it in the stores, H-E-B, Kroger, a number of places where you can walk in, buy a 6-pack, buy a 12-pack, and be on your way.
We got to talk a little football, if you don't mind, because you guys on the Rams 49ers game, the most interesting thing that I got, fourth quarter, I think the Rams had just tied the ball game up, and you said they were stopping the running game.
Right.
So it goes to Garoppolo's hands, and you were a little nervous about that as far as they were concerned, and you were right.
Well, I wasn't nervous, and my comments, I hope, I have seen that. I think some people maybe took that as though I was saying, oh, boy, now it's on Garoppolo. And that was not my feelings at all, and I would apologize to Jimmy if that's what people thought my intentions were. I think a lot of Jimmy, and we all know that he's been up and down, but we had him week 18 when they were in that same situation against the Rams. They needed a touchdown to tie it, and he took him right down the field, and he did it. The way I said it, which I guess I wish I could go back and change it, it was only that they weren't running the ball well, and it was all going to be on Jimmy, to where they weren't going to be able to mix it up and do those things. I actually expected him to have a better series in that moment than what he had or what the team had. But I'm a big fan of Jimmy's, the way he handled everything with Trey Lance coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, it says a lot about how he was raised. It says a lot about the kind of person he is. Not many people would handle it that well. But I was happy for Stafford as well. He grew up in my backyard there in Highland Park in Dallas. He won a state title for them. A lot of pressure on him, obviously, from the time he went to the Rams, and for him to be now playing in the Super Bowl, which is what the expectation was. He's met every expectation. I'm really proud of him.
Hall of Famer Troy Aikman joining us here on the Blitz. And, Hall of Fame career, you're the best analyst in the NFL. Regardless, everybody says that, right? And I think we all believe that. And you just talk about, I wish I could go back. You're doing a football game live in the moment. And, every week there's, Joe Buck hates my team, or, Tony Romo, what the hell was he saying here?
Yeah.
Can you put in?
Aikman's an idiot. Yeah, that's the other one.
Nobody ever says Aikman's an idiot. I mean, but you look at it and you go, 3 hours of a live football game. How difficult of a job that really is.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a fair question. It's gotten harder. I mean, it really has gotten harder. Joe Buck sent me a clip from 2006, 15 years ago, and it was he and I having some fun in the booth, and like he said, no more could do that in today's environment, and there was nothing said that would have been controversial, but the times have changed. I think the ability to just have some fun and have some laughs, it's hard to do. People take things the wrong way, and then no telling what all might take place. But I do know you bring up a good point. When we are talking, we're talking in real time. I mean, we're talking about what we're seeing at the moment and what we're projecting in the future. And when the game gets written about, it's easy to go back and say, well, he said that this was going to happen. This was going to happen. And you're like, it's just, but that's the nature of it. There are a lot of critics. With all that said, it is a fantastic job. I mean, I love the job. I've been doing it now for 21 years. Joe and I just finished our 20th season together, and I've loved every minute of it. In fact, this year has probably been the most enjoyable year that I have had, and I hope to do it another 10 years or so. It's been a lot of fun.
Will it still be at Fox?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. There's ongoing conversations. It could be at Fox. It could be at Fox and Amazon, and it could be at Amazon. And then third party just jumped into the fray, and so it's a nice position to be in, and we'll see where it all lands. My hope is that I'm working with Joe Buck, whatever that looks like, because he and I are really great friends. We shared a lot of experiences together and in our personal lives approximately the same time. He went through a divorce about the same time I was going through a divorce. He's got 2 young daughters, now not so young. They're out of college. My 2 daughters are in college. We both like to spend time together. We travel together in the off season. And I think that's what viewers hear. I think they hear 2 friends in the booth, and you can't just replicate that with other people. And I have found that there's a lot of partners that just simply, they don't get along very well. And even the ones that do get along, they don't really enjoy spending that much time together. So Joe and I have something that's really special, and we would hate to see that end.
Jason says the same thing. Joe and I have something very special.
I could tell.
You can tell, right?
Well, you realize, Troy, that's going to be a promo. where Ryan Eggle's going to make it sound like you're talking about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can you say all the same things? Just say Jason. Just even it up a little bit.
Right.
But Troy, when you say that, you say a third party and Amazon. What is it about the NFL that keeps it so popular? I mean, it is head and shoulders above every other professional sport.
It really is. And you just wonder how long can that continue. I read a book years ago called America's Game, and it started about the missteps of baseball. Baseball at one time was America's pastime, and then all of a sudden football surpassed it, and they went through the missteps that allowed football to overtake baseball. One of the major ones was the oversaturation of baseball on television. And I worry about all of the televised games that we have. You got it on Monday, Thursday, Sunday, at times on Saturday. And yet there's still a thirst that hasn't been quenched to see NFL football. And so I think what's happened, even though I think in some ways the game itself, because the players aren't together as much, you're not able to hit the way you once did. So the way the football you knew and the football I knew is not the same game. But I think what appeals to the public is that these games all come down to the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game in the last possession. And that's pretty dramatic television. And I think that's been the biggest reason why the game has continued to be so popular.
Troy Aikman joining us here on the Blitz, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer from the Dallas Cowboys. What I love, Troy, whether you're doing an interview on 1310 up in Dallas or you're doing a game, you're always honest. I need some clarity on some comments you made a couple of weeks ago on 1310, the ticket up there in Dallas, when you talked about if they were playing that way, Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches at halftime.
Yeah, that was probably a little bit hyperbole.
Well,
it probably was 5 or 6.
It's a lot more than what CD had, right? Is it, were you directing criticism at Dak Prescott, the quarterback, or Kellen Moore in the system, or a little bit of both?
Well, neither really.
Because it kind of came across as it could be either.
Well, I think what happens is when I say something, because my whole comment on that was talking about just the week earlier, we had done the Eagles and Tampa Bay wild card game. Mm-hmm. And I thought the Eagles, they've got Devontae Smith, great player, and they're getting one-on-one, and they wouldn't come out and just throw the ball to him, whether it's a comeback, a curl, a square, whatever it is, that you can run the whole route tree and pretty much throw what you want, but they didn't do it. And then Dallas didn't do it on some favorable looks. And I had talked with some people that I really respect, some offensive minds, earlier in the season. And I said, I don't understand why these teams don't take advantage of some of these things more. If they played Michael that way, everyone knew he was going to get the ball. And this coach that I have great respect for was talking about it. And he goes, yeah, it's hard to understand. But more and more of these offenses, that's not what they do. They really want to use their scheme. So it's all about the deep crossers and the shallow crossers and, doing these things up the field, the vertical seams and all those kinds of things. And to me, there's a tendency, and I don't want to be the old guy who says, well, this is the way we did it in the 90s. I already am, right? Hey, this is the way we did it in the 90s, but it's still, it's still pretty effective if you just do it.
I'm screaming at my TV. That DB is barely on the screen. Throw him the ball.
And that's why I just said, so in my comments, I said, look, I saw this last week with the Eagles. They didn't do it. And I saw it this week with Dallas, that they didn't do it, and more teams just aren't throwing those kinds of things. And I don't really understand it, because if Michael had been covered that way, he would have caught 10 passes. And then it went like it was a shot at the Cowboys, and it was not at all. It was just a broad statement about the way that the league is being played right now.
Okay, well, I have to ask you this.
And nobody will hear what I just said. They'll stick
right.
to,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce. It was a game-winning touchdown. I think it was a game before this one. He said, I didn't care what the play was. I was going to run this route. Yeah. How many times did you and Michael Irvin just say, hey, go to the mailbox and turn right? I mean, did that ever happen?
Not a lot. Occasionally when the game, a little bit similar to that. Like if the game's really on the line and you just know that they're going to play him a certain way and you're not going to be able to run a typical route. There were times when you'd say, hey, Mike, just try this. And then, know that the ball's going to be up and just go up and make a play on it. But we weren't, Kansas City seems to do a lot of that. They seem to kind of draw it up in the dirt a lot. But we were a little bit more regimented in what we did. And I think that's another part of it. I think the quarterbacks have more control. They definitely have more of an impact on the game itself, but I also think they have more control over what's being called and how they're doing things at the line of scrimmage.
Did Norv or Jimmy ever get mad at you when you disregarded a play?
No. Jimmy got mad one time because he wanted me to take a knee at the end of a game in the victory formation because we were going to run out the clock. The problem was taking a knee was not going to run out the clock. We were going to have to punt. And so he called to take the knee. I didn't. I turned and handed it off. He was livid, and he's yelling on the sidelines. I said, take a knee. He's yelling, And so, okay, we took a knee, and then it's 4th down. We got to punt. We didn't run out the clock. And you talk about looking really foolish.
Well, you're telling me Jimmy had clock management issues?
At times, he's my boy. The Hall of Famer, but at times there was some questionable stuff.
The criticism that Mike McCarthy gets, is it fair?
Probably not. I was asked also on that same interview you're referring to about, what would be my grade for Mike McCarthy, and I love Mike McCarthy. I consider him a friend. I think he's a great coach. But when a team is expected to get to the Super Bowl and you don't win a playoff game, I said I'd probably give him a C. And it was just me saying, yeah, it's probably how most people would view it. And I also said, and this is the way I felt as a player, if no matter how good, once you're a team that the only measurement of success is winning the Super Bowl or getting to the Super Bowl, then if you don't even win a playoff game, you're really no different than those teams that never even made the playoffs. It's a huge disappointment. And so I made that comment, and then that got that was intended to be a shot, and that was not intended to be a shot at the Cowboys at all. It's the way I always felt. It's a terrible feeling. In fact, I would argue that the Cowboys felt worse about their season than the Jets and the Jaguars did about their season because they were never going to make it into the postseason.
What are the players feeling like right now as they anticipate that Super Bowl?
Well, a lot of excitement. There are players for the Rams that were there a few years ago, so they have at least a memory bank on what that experience was like. But for Matthew Stafford, this has got to be magical for him. I remember we talked to him back in September, and I said, what's it like being with the Rams? He said, this is how I always envisioned the NFL being. And I thought it was such a great comment, to have spent all those years. And he loved Detroit, and he really hoped that he could put them over the edge. But to have not won a playoff game, to not really had many winning seasons and get to the postseason. And I remember he said that in September. I can only imagine how excited he is now when you think, gosh, this is what I always imagined the NFL being. And for Joe Burrow and that team, I know what that feeling's like when you haven't won in a while. And then when you finally do, it happened to us in 91. It's magical. It's magical for the players. It's magical for the fans. Everyone's a Bengals fan. It'll never get better than it is right now in Cincinnati. And so one of these quarterbacks in their first Super Bowl is going to come out and be a Super Bowl winner. And it's something that is a legacy game and one you'll never forget.
I think about question. Daryl Johnston is on with us every Monday. We call it Mondays with the Moose. We have a lot of fun with Moose every week, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is, and he was very excited to send him the beer. He sent me a picture of the beer pack, although it was 4, and he thought, well, it's called 8. Why did I only get 4 beers? But that's beside the point. But
tell him he's going to have to buy some.
Well, there you go.
I don't think he wants to do that.
I knew 4 would just be a little teaser for him.
He spent a lot. When he was with the Alliance, and I really got to know him a lot. Down here when he was with the Alliance. But I asked him yesterday, who's got the experience? Because so many Rams were just in the Super Bowl, or this young Cincinnati team. And he said, if it was about experience, the Bills would have beat us that first year.
Yeah.
We were the youngest team coming in. Yeah. Is that kind of the mindset coming in where you're thinking about who you're going to pick in this Super Bowl, or does the experience matter to you a little bit more?
I don't pay much attention to experience for that very reason. I agree with Daryl on that we were the youngest team in football. We had nobody really who had made it. I don't know if we had any players that had made it to us. Well, we had Charles Haley, but he might have been the only one who had ever played in the Super Bowl. The Bills obviously were playing in their third consecutive. So it really just comes down to who's going to be able to play air-free football, flawless football when it matters most, or play their best football. And I think Jimmy that week did a great job of getting us prepared. I thought his messaging with the team, clock management may not have been the best, but the way he talked to the team during the week was phenomenal. And we went in really confident, and his best speech, I'll tell you real quick, was we were in a team meeting on Wednesday of that week. He laid a 2x4 across the floor, and he says, how many of you guys think you could walk across this 2x4? And he goes, show of hands. Everybody raises their hand. He goes, okay, now I want you to envision we're going to put it up between two skyscrapers, and you're going to walk this board. And I want you to imagine how high you are off the ground and the dangers if you were to fall off. But how many people now think they can walk across that 2x4? And people were like, I'm not so sure. It was kind of like one of those. And his whole deal was that it's the same 2x4. The degree of difficulty is still the same. And that the game that we were about to play, even though 180 million people were going to be watching it, it was still the game of football that we'd been playing at a high level all season long. And it really struck a chord with everybody. And we were able to do that. So experience in playoffs. I think the one thing in a Super Bowl, like Tom Brady, I always used to think that nobody's played in enough Super Bowls to really get accustomed to what that feeling's like. Tom has. Tom has played 9 of them. But the one thing you do have, if you've played in it, is how your body is going to respond. I mean, the emotion, and because it can be debilitating if you let it, because you're on a big stage. How do you handle that, especially if you're the one handling the ball? I think that's the advantage those guys have. But once the ball's snapped, I don't think experience matters.
Troy Aikman joining us here on the Blitz. The new beer 8 is out today officially. It'll start getting to the bars and premises in the next couple of days, and soon you'll be able to get it at the stores. Congratulations on 8. I got to know, though, because I know you're a Traeger guy. I'm jealous you've had Matt Pittman actually cook at your house for you. Right? So when you're firing up your Traeger, what are you grilling on Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, I'm working this Sunday. I'm not working the game, but I will be in L.A. at the stadium for an event that I'm contracted to attend. But typically, I do have a party at my house when I'm not calling the game. I'm not the one working the Traeger. I hate to admit that to you, but I'm a rib guy. So I'm not a great cook, but I don't boast about much. But I can make some baby back ribs. And now Meat Church, he's on another planet.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he comes in. He's cooked over at my house twice, and it is unbelievable how good he is. And he's got all my buddies locked in. I haven't yet made it to Waxahachie. I keep telling him I'm coming, and to see his setup and go through one of his cooking schools.
It'd be awesome.
Wow.
I just. How do you get to the point where
you met him?
I've not.
Yeah.
But all his products, the way he does his ribs. Between that and there's a company out of Corpus called Gulf Coast Smoke. Those are the best rubs out there.
Those people that cook like that, I haven't been to any of those contests, the rib cook-offs and all that. But I'd like to sometimes, because I got my best friend has been my best friend since I was 12 years old, and he can cook anything. I mean, he's one of those who can cook anything. And I learned a little bit from him. But to be around those guys, they've got their techniques and the way that they do it, and to me, it's fascinating.
It's a different level.
I just want to eat. I'm a great judge. At barbecue cook-offs, I'm a great judge. So anybody that needs a judge, just call me.
Call me with him. I'll go with you.
That's it.
That'd be awesome.
And have the 8 beer ready to go.
Absolutely.
We'll do it.
It'll be there.
Troy Aikman, appreciate you stopping by and joining us here on
Troy,
the Blitz.
Appreciate it.
We're back after this on 103.3 FM and AM 1250.
We're following the Bengals and Rams all the way to L.A. Live all week leading up to the big game. Coverage starts Monday morning at 7. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo, and auto security headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now. You know, because it's the future, and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
With just one spray of Microban 24, your hard surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
Still sanitized.
12 hours?
Yep.
18 hours.
We're really doing this.
24 hours.
When used as directed, one spray of Microban keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria touch after touch for, up to 24 hours.
Wow.
Microban 24. The sanitizer 4 out of 5 doctors would use in their own homes. So why aren't you?
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
We're following the Bengals and Rams all the way to L.A. Live all week leading up to the big game. Coverage starts Monday morning at 7. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Let's talk the biggest stories in sports tomorrow morning, 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Want to thank Troy Aikman.
Dude, how much fun was that?
For spending such quality time with us.
How much fun was that?
Seeing a lot of people saying great interview. That was great stuff. Rudy J. Rudy J still here,
yeah,
Rob?
He's over there somewhere.
So the boss man, and I didn't get this done, wanted to see if we could get Troy to record some liners. And I didn't see this on the email ahead of time, but he wanted to see if Troy would record some liners. Now he's here. He's going to a deal. We'll see if Rob or somebody will get him to do it. But did you want to get Troy to record some liners? One of them is this is Kim. I'm not here. This is Troy. You've reached Kim's phone. I think the boss man is trying to get the wife's voicemail message.
I've already got the best promo of all.
You do.
I mean, me and Joe make a great team. I mean, that to me is that's perfect.
It's exactly what he's doing.
That was perfect. We got to go to break because we went long.
I don't know. What are we doing? What is Rudy trying to tell us?
Tell us to go to break.
Oh, Rudy's trying to get his photo. Oh, a group photo. Hey, Pledge, we're going to break right now. Hey, don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. We're getting a group photo with Troy Aikman. Damn it, we're going to take a break. We're back after this on the Blitz.
San Antonio sports star is headed to LA. Get the latest news, moves, analysis, and world-class roster of guests all week leading up to the game.
To the next episode.
R&R in the morning, halftime, and the Blitz all live from Los Angeles.
Joining us now, the Moves, Daryl Johnston. We get to talk to Michael or Marcus Ware. Joining us now.
Coverage starts Monday morning at 7. Big game coverage powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. San Antonio sports star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
If I'm going to work from my home office, I need my home office to work for me.
It's possible at Staples. To be most productive, my home office needs to have everything my office has. Also possible because your local Staples store has the tools your business needs to get work done from home. And right now, you can save up to 40% on select chairs to put the finishing touch on your home office. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. In-store only while supplies last.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenix. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
From the QC Kinetics studio.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Used to be, now we're 103.3 FM. I'm just seeing if anybody was paying attention.
That's 2 turnovers today.
Dude, we were just hanging out with Troy Aikman. I'm glad I can.
You're having a
think.
Ryan Tannehill day.
No, not that bad. I'm having a great day.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what.
Are you kidding?
That was unbelievable.
And they just brought us some of the great 8 beer. He brought me 4, none for you. It's amazing how that works.
That's how it works.
Is that how it works?
Well, you took all my other beer, too, that they brought us.
I did not take your other
wait
beer.
a minute. He was saying that it looks like if you look close, it's an 8. And I can see it now when you look at it like that.
You didn't always see that as being an 8?
I didn't.
It's because you're not a lifelong Cowboy fan.
He called it
a semicolon.
Or
a colon.
A colon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
It's an 8.
That.
Now I can see it.
All right.
I got that.
I have no idea what we're doing. We
got an injury update.
Is Pledge so we're doing it early because I know we're way off on time right now. So, hey, Dr. Ochoa, how's your day, sir?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Dude, you are following Troy Aikman. How are you doing?
I know. There's no winning. There is no winning on my side after I follow the legend like that. But,
are you kidding?
But what am I going to say?
Are you kidding? I think everybody right now would say, dude, I want to be on right after Troy because everybody's listening right now and commenting about it. And you look at it and you think about it, Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. And you look, there's some pretty key injuries for both of the teams heading towards the Super Bowl. For the Cincinnati Bengals, a tight end whose name I'm not going to butcher, I'm surprised it's not torn. They say there's a chance it's only a sprain that he could come back.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well by the way it looked on the field and the way he kind of hopped off, not putting any weight on it. And it's hard to say with the MCL sprains. I think with if you're a Bengals fan, the hope you can hang your hat on is that the ACL wasn't torn. But if it's a really bad MCL sprain, there's a chance he won't be back on the field that quickly.
That's interesting that you say that because as far as the Rams go, their tight end also, they said it's Tyler Higbee, suffered a sprained MCL. Well, obviously, a sprain is not as bad as a tear. I'm not a doctor, but it would seem that way. But how bad is that, though? And is the movement not the same as it normally would be?
Yeah, I mean, I think so you're right. It depends on the grade of the sprain. And when they say it's a sprain, they're implying that it didn't completely tear and that it's intact. It's just the problem with that injury is that it's got a very poor blood supply and it takes a very long time to heal. And lateral movement is what stresses that ligament. And so, for instance, if you're an inline kind of straight ahead kind of push the pile kind of guy, you might get away with playing with a sprained MCL and not do so poorly. But some, the guys that are outside tight ends, receivers, running backs, they can be affected for a longer time frame.
Dr. Eloy Ochoa joining us here on the Blitz for our weekly injury update, brought to you by TSAOG Orthopedics, online at TSAOG.com. For those that aren't playing in the Super Bowl, like Jimmy Garoppolo, it's off-season surgery time, and he dealt with a lot of injuries down the stretch. He's going to have surgery on his thumb. They say about 4 to 6 weeks recovery time. Are they just going to clean up the issue that he was dealing with during the postseason?
Well, it's hard to say for sure because they weren't very specific about the injury, but I'm thinking that the injury was probably a version of what happened to Drew Brees a couple of seasons ago. And it's very, it's funny, we were talking about a collateral ligament of the knee. Well, that particular joint in the thumb is like a tiny miniature knee, and it has collateral ligaments as well. And there's a particularly important one that's on the inside part, the one that's closer to the index finger. And when you try to grab or especially a football, if you're a thrower and you pinch, you need to have that ligament intact to put counter pressure to create that force when you pinch. And I'm sure that's what he was dealing with most of the season. And that can that's a speeded up time frame. But if you remember, they did the same thing with Drew Brees as he came back at a much quicker rate than we normally would. Because usually when we repair a tendon, it'll take a good 3 months to heal and another month of rehab. But they're, in his case, they put in an implant that helped to strengthen the ligament a little quicker and protect it. So he was able to come back a little quicker from that injury.
Doc, I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I'm a little bit of an older guy, so things take a little longer to heal. LeBron James is having some problem with some swelling in his knee, so they're going to rest him. When you see somebody with swelling in the knee, soreness, how cautious do you need to be with something like that?
It really, so everything that he's describing, and because of his age and the fact that he's doing all these, he's obviously a high impact athlete, it implies more that maybe he's dealing with a little bit of wear and tear of the cartilage in his knee and some early arthritis flare-ups. And so, you want to take your chances to rest him, which would be during the regular season, and try to get him as healthy as you can coming into the playoffs because he has to deal with less of these flare-ups. And then a lot of the other more detailed parts of to answer your question have to do with, insight that we don't have. But, I'm sure they're looking at MRIs and X-rays to see how much cartilage damage he has. And depending on what they see, whether he has bone bruising associated with it, they may need to be a little more cautious.
Dr. Eloy Ochoa joining us here on the Blitz. Doc, I'm gonna throw you for one here, man. This is a curveball of all curveballs.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, there's a quarterback out there that's at the Senior Bowl. His name is Kenny Pickett. He does not want to get measured for the hand measurements. It's part of the draft process because he has a double-jointed thumb, and apparently when you measure, the double joint puts the mark in the it's not going to add up right. He's got a double-jointed thumb. Do you fix that surgically to end up with a bigger thumb or a bigger hand so your hand measures, or is that just an issue that's going to screw him up the rest of his life? I mean, it's draft season, so we're going to be looking for all the double-jointed kids, right?
Right. Or looking away from them, depending on which side of the fence you're on. But I think that in his case, he just it's one of those things where you talk with your agent, and you want to say, well, do I really need to do that? If I run a 5.2 40-yard dash, maybe I should skip that part of the test because it's not going to help me any. It's certainly nothing that needs to be surgically corrected or treated, but he probably has a smaller hand, and that's another reason to not get measured and say, hey, it's not fair.
So if you have small hands, you just say, I can't, I'm double jointed, and you get a pass.
Yes. It's a good way. It's a good excuse to pass on that.
Well,
exam.
so you get a note from your doctor to say that's okay.
That's right. And so that's may become a trend. We'll have to see in the future. Somebody below the height of 6'3", and they have double jointed, high incidence of double jointed thumbs, and we'll know why.
So it's kind of like that message on the car rearview mirror. Objects may appear closer than they really are. My head is really bigger than you think, but it's double jointed, Doc. So it's not going to measure up. Interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, I'm double jointed though too with it, but it's in the elbow.
You have a double jointed elbow.
Yeah, and that
explains your golf game.
Look at that, right? Yeah, my golf game could use a little help, but I mean, that's just that doesn't limit you in any way. I mean, just as a regular Joe like myself, when you're double jointed, I've never seemed to have a problem with it. But do you ever see people that are double jointed that it causes a problem?
There's a couple of issues. One of the big issues with the people who are double jointed, they tend to have a little bit more lax ligaments, and one of the most unstable joints in the body is the shoulder. And so they can be predisposed to instability of the shoulder and shoulder dislocation.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Dr. Eloy Ochoa, as they join us every week for our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. They're online at TSAOG.com. Doc, certainly appreciate you taking the time. Hell of a job following up Troy Aikman. That's not easy to do.
Great job.
No problem, guys. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. Dr. Eloy Ochoa joining us here on the Blitz. And it is kind of weird when you think about it. I'm not going to measure because I'm double jointed. I've never heard that before.
Well, no, and maybe you should never hear that. And as we talked about a long time ago, you shouldn't measure anyway because diseases can cause problems with measurements, like COVID.
Yeah, sure. I don't know where the hell that was coming from. What the hell are you?
Well, I'm thinking about that story again. It's like I can't get over
the COVID ding-a-ling?
The COVID thing. Yeah. I can't get over that. It's just it's on my mind.
I don't think shrinkage affects your fingers in that area.
Not in that area. Well,
no.
I've never had COVID to my knowledge anyway, but we need to take a break.
Here's the problem. Pledge is telling us no.
Oh,
that we can't take a break. But what we can do is what we call transition. Right?
Yes, we can.
We can transition because we're out here at an event with Troy Aikman.
Yes, we are.
And the event just started, so they've gone into another room, so it's gotten very quiet. But we went way long with Troy Aikman, as you might expect,
which is okay,
because it was all great.
Yeah, it was great.
And we could have gone another hour,
easy.
And I think Troy enjoys that.
Yeah, it seemed like he did.
Off the air, we were talking about, and is it a grind 3 hours?
Yeah.
Is that because he does these interviews, but he's got so many opinions. Well thought of, and good stories too.
They were great stories, but I love the way, in what he says, and it's in every broadcaster's mind. It has to be now. The things you say with social media can sometimes be taken way out of context. And I think he tried to clarify a couple of stories. The one with Dak, and that Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches by then, and the Jimmy Garoppolo story. And I actually agree with Troy with Garoppolo. He's a good guy, and he's a good quarterback, Jason. So I think that clears up that argument between you and I, doesn't it?
No, not really.
No?
No.
So you're going to disagree with Troy Aikman?
I can't, yes.
Wow.
I can't.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
Uh-huh.
Who are you?
Jason Minix.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. We all can have different opinions, and all of us be right. The reality is what he said turned out to be very accurate. It came across as a dig.
Well,
right?
How else would you take it?
Well, again, and he's trying not to say I'm taking a dig at this guy. And I would tell Jimmy that. It was like, man, dude, the game was on your shoulders, and I knew you were going to screw it up.
Boy, it's too bad you can't run the football because you're in trouble.
It's exactly what it is. All right. It's our first day of being on 103.3 FM.
Right.
Day one of the new signal. One of the things that we are doing is making sure you're locking that in on the preset, because Rudy J wants to make sure you're listening to him tomorrow morning, right? So what we want to do is have you guys take a photo of your radio with the preset locked in. Saw one just now. We were at number 6. That hurts my feelings. But I'm glad it's locked in, to be honest. But take a photo of your preset, tweet it to us at JoeKens5, at Jason Minix, at SA Sportstar, at I Am Pledger. Also on Instagram, and all the tags are the same except for Ryan Eagle, who on Twitter or on Instagram is at Joe Ryan Eagle _Kens5. All right. So post them there. One of the cool things when you see all these photos, and you mentioned it all earlier, all the nice cars that people are driving.
Yeah.
And I could tell by a lot of those cars, they were bought from Ansira over there at Ansira Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Part of that Ansira I-10 Auto Complex, which isn't far from where we are right now. Now, if you don't have a good car that has a good preset radio, maybe you need to go over there and get a new one. And when you go over there, they're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options like a radio that you're looking for. Set that FM preset at 103.3. They're going to give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available. And price made Ansira number 1. Price keeps Ansira number 1. So think Ansira. Ansira Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram truck. Part of the Ansira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner. And then you get that new vehicle and you lock in 103.3 on your FM. Tweet us those photos or Instagram later tonight or tomorrow morning. We're randomly going to select a few people to win gift cards to Mellow Mushroom or Pinkerton's Barbecue.
Absolutely. They'll probably even show you how to do that at Ansira.
Part of it. This is how you lock in your radio stations.
You just ask them how to do it, and they're going to show you. They'll probably lock it in for you. So
they will.
Go get your car. They'll lock it in. Did you see this tweet from Rudy J?
I did not. What did Rudy
J say?
Rudy J
says, get you a man that looks at you the way Jason Minix and Joe Reiniger look at 8.
Wow, I did not see that.
Did you see that?
Dude, my Twitter is blowing up so much. Where's Rudy J? Come here, Rudy.
But look at the picture. I mean, I think you're about to lean in for a kiss.
Where?
Right there.
Well, if you notice, his hand is on my leg. What do you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do? That's my man crush. Honestly, if Erica was a little boy.
You were going to name her Troy?
I was going to name her Troy. It would have been TD Minix, but Troy after Aikman.
But all kidding aside, that was a great job, fellas.
Thanks,
that was 25 minutes.
Dude, it was awesome. We could have gone another 25 easy, if not another hour.
I think the barbecue could have took you into the 40s.
Absolutely.
Jason hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Jason hit a nerve with the barbecue, but no, he, for once y'all start talking about beer, you never know with these guys, celebrities in general. Once you stop talking about their product, you never know where it's going.
Yeah, they want to leave.
They're ready to leave.
Go. Yeah.
No, he was great with y'all. Y'all thought y'all asked some great questions, and
dude, what I
tip
love,
my cap to y'all, man.
What I love about Troy Aikman and even Moose when we have him on Mondays, They will answer the questions. And what I love hearing, Rudy, is what they felt, right? Going into the Super Bowl or this particular
I thought that was a great question.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you feeling like going into that game?
I mean, it's just because I've never experienced it. Obviously, none of us have, but he has, and he can tell us, kind of put us in their place as they go in.
Yeah, man, that was a great question. But then I don't like, you don't press the man on if he was criticizing Dak. That wasn't criticism of Dak. He was just saying, hey.
No, I disagree.
No, I think you're right.
That was a criticism.
I disagree.
You see, that's the problem with the world.
Hold on,
that's why people take everything out of context. I don't think that was a criticism.
I wanted clarity. It was critical. It was a critical comment of way offenses are running.
Okay.
The way he said it, I thought he was talking about Kellen Moore because he used the word scheme in there. Reinagle took it as he was bashing Dak.
Not bashing Dak, but I think
critical of Dak.
I think, and then we went back because he answered their own question. He said, "Look, Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches." Well, you know what? The heck with what the play is being called in. Do your own thing, because those two guys have that rapport. So I thought it was a little bit of a dig at Dak because sometimes you're out there, you see what's going on, so disregard what Kellen Moore's telling you to do and do your own thing.
And I wanted clarity where you. And again, he can be critical of Dak. I can be critical of Dak. You can be critical, and we all have.
I just think it just stings more coming from him.
Of course.
It shakes up the world when a Cowboy criticizes the Cowboys.
Yeah,
when one of the legends do.
Well, and again, and there's probably a lot of truth to that. When
one of the legends, like when Michael or Emmett or Troy has something
but Michael got on him worse than Troy.
Michael.
But again, though, what I'm trying to figure out, and I'm curious of, and I like the way Troy put it. I don't want to be the old guy back in my day, but dude, that's who you are.
Some of it's relevant.
But if I'm sitting in my recliner,
right,
or I'm hanging out at the Roof Hub, and I can't see the defensive back on the screen, just throw the ball. I mean, when I was in high school, we used to call those hot routes, right? And they still
much
do.
What Kelsey and Mahomes did,
That's exactly right.
Well, and again, they drew it up, and he said, I thought it was interesting, though, that he said he wouldn't have just disregarded the play. And as much as you might say, Reinagle, dude, you're Dak Prescott, what is Kellen Moore going to yell at you? I do think there is the hierarchy and the authority, and you're playing within the system. It's the system now that when we see that, you think, we've got this. We've got to figure out how to capitalize on it.
When y'all asked him that, Rob leaned over to me and was like, well, as CD, do you just say something like as receivers do? And I just feel like him only being in his second year, I don't think he feels like he has the stripes to come in the huddle and be like, Dak,
what
are you doing?
Well, no,
I don't know.
CD's got a lot of new candle and change
Do you feel like he feels comfortable going to Dak and be like, what are you doing, man? Give me the ball one-on-one with this guy right now.
And I think Dak would appreciate that.
Well, and keep in mind, Amari did the same thing. And then all of a sudden, there weren't enough balls going to CD Lamb. I just want you to throw it to the open guy. I just don't want the open guy always to be Cedric Wilson, right? I mean, at some point, if you're Amari Cooper, you're CD Lamb, get open. I mean, there's plenty of talented guys, Cooper Kupp, these guys, Jamar Chase. These guys always seem to get open.
And let me ask you a question. And both of you guys, I know your answer already.
Okay.
Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott. Who's going to go first?
Kellen.
Okay, thank you. Well, Dak needs to take command out there and take care of it. I mean, look, he's a smart man. He's a smart football player, and he knows that cornerback is 15 yards out. You tell CD Lamb to run 5 turn, I'm going to hit you. We're going to 5-yard him all the way down the field.
Kellen don't tell you?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What is he going to tell you?
It's exactly what I'm saying. Team.
So all in all, man, great interview.
Thanks, Rudy.
Great interview, man.
Yeah,
great job.
That?
Are you okay?
Not really.
No.
Have you calmed down? What's your working heart rate right now? About $160.
My Apple Watch would be wondering if I'm okay.
Good stuff, fellas.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey, thanks, Rudy.
So hold on now.
Oh no, I'm here. I just didn't want to be bombarding your show, but
dude, dude, that's fine. I mean, you didn't show up for yours today, so you might as well get some reps in this afternoon.
I showed up. I just pulled the Jason Minix. I just did it from my kitchen. And Rob killed me. I took a beating for that today.
Why?
I know. It's like, Rob. Rob's an old school Renaissance man. You should have just changed it and came to work, got your hands dirty, finish in 10 minutes. I could change a tire in under 10 minutes. So he has all of our listeners believing that I can't change a tire. I can change a tire, but I pay my insurance company to come do that.
When was the last time you changed your tire? A tire, any tire?
Sometime in my 20s, probably.
And you're how old now?
44.
Exactly.
So when was the last time you changed a tire?
It's been actually a couple of years ago, driving back from Rockport.
Were you on a play-by-play gig?
No, I was at the beach.
Oh.
And then we were driving back and ended up with a flat.
Well, what I hated changing a tire like that in the new cars, and you put that bicycle tire on there.
And it's nothing like
and you got to go 30 miles an hour or something, right?
Exactly. like 50. Although I have to admit, we were trying to change that thing, and you got
to put some weight on it.
Well, and again, the stupid jack that came with the car.
Was this the Benz or the Audi?
It was in the Nissan days.
Oh,
the Benz and Audis don't get flats, man. Those things, they got the run flats. But it was in Nissan. And we were on we were leaving Rockport. We weren't to 37 yet.
Yeah.
And so you're on those dark country roads.
That's scary.
And it was scary, but trying to get the thing
in the right
jacked
spot
up enough, with no flashlights. And so a guy stopped with the truck and put lights on it. But that old boy could change a tire like that.
Right.
So technically speaking, he ultimately changed. But I was ready.
You on those dark roads, you never know if you're gonna get Texas Chainsaw Massacred. Or Jason Voorhees gonna pop up on your ass. You never know, man.
Dude, you live a different life than the rest of us, man.
Do I?
Well, I mean,
not really.
That was not what I was worried about. You know what I was worried about? Some rattlesnake or something coming across the highway.
Absolutely.
I wasn't worried about
and that's a legit worry. I promise
He's worried about like Friday the 13th. I'm worried about a snake.
Well, was it dark or light?
It was dark.
It was dark.
It was shot off a whole bunch of fireworks and drive home because my wife had to work the next morning.
Well, I don't know, dude. I mean, there's some shady little towns in between Rockport.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wasn't in a shady town. I was just on
in the middle of nowhere.
One of those, yeah.
Well, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they were in the middle of nowhere too,
middle
right?
of Austin.
The guy just came up in a truck, and that was it. They were barbecue.
Hey, there was no basketball game or nothing to go to. Like, how do y'all finish? What do you talk about after that? Great.
Dude,
I know, dude.
We're talking to Rudy J to get us to 6:30 to get us the hell out of here so we can start drinking.
I'll be like, hey, man, hey, Rob, go to Michigan versus Ohio State basketball. Like, we can't top with just.
Dude, I know
it. Top 25 minutes with Troy.
Dude, I was gonna have
candid. Everything was candid too.
I was just gonna tell Pledge, man, just rerun it in the 6 o'clock hour.
You should.
I should have. You know how we were looking at Troy?
Y'all were looking at him like, hey, man, this is
you're
everything I dreamed of.
The looks I'm getting from Pledge right now.
About what?
You know when you're in trouble and your wife just gives you the look?
What did you do?
And you're questioning, what did you do? I'm getting that look right now from James Pledger.
Because y'all are way over. Commercials are screwed.
We have screwed everything
up. His life
and then you screwed us up even more by saying we were taking a group photo. So I just went to break, even though it wasn't close to break time.
Oh, I was trying to get him, and then I just felt that he was like on picture number 7. I didn't want to be number 8.
Yeah, it's amazing the people on this private event that just randomly show up, and they're the ones that get
all
photos.
the pictures. Yeah,
but y'all got good photos. Y'all got video. Carl, look at Carl over there.
Carl is over there editing now.
Y'all are gonna look great.
I mean,
that's
your wife took a bunch of pictures.
She did.
That's top of the line equipment. Y'all, at the end of the day, it all worked out.
Just so you guys know, that's a little taste of what next week's going to be like in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
For our Radio Row coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. The celebrity, the interviews, all of that. I know, Ryan Eagle, you've never done Radio Row as a radio guy, but, kind of like, it's amazing how Ken's TV happened to be the only TV station here to get Troy.
Were they here?
It's amazing.
Wait a minute. You know what? I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
you know why?
I'm going to get a text from Don Harris and Chuck McAtenick and,
good.
Greg Simmons. And they were like, dude,
hey,
Joe gets to go in a little late today because he already got his segment.
Got the interview, Spurs play. I mean, things are set, right? It's all good.
My man is good for
It's all good.
Wait, the Spurs play today?
They do, actually.
Dude, I'm so pissed about this game.
Against the G League team.
And why would they, you see the back-to-back in Texas. Why pick Houston? Why pick Houston to play your stars?
Why not sit everybody yesterday?
I think it's because he wants to help
Pop.
I think he wants to help Pop get to 26.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to tell you this, and I love Steve Kerr.
Same.
But they should be fined for this.
They should.
This is bad.
This is really bad. And, you know, I feel sorry for the people that plopped down $300 on a ticket tonight.
My kids
to go
love
watch
Curry.
that.
My kids love Curry.
They're not going to see anybody.
My kids don't know any better about being a diehard fan. My 13-year-old loves Curry. I got buddies.
Right.
I got buddies that were looking for Curry jerseys this morning. By the afternoon, they were like, I ain't going to buy the jersey. I already bought the ticket.
Right.
Yeah,
by the way, nobody's playing for Golden State tonight.
Nobody.
Curry's out.
Which is why we haven't really talked about it because
I
mean, this is almost as bad as putting a couple people on a flight and sending them home out of Miami on a TNT game.
But see, even that was legit.
They were just resting.
No, I'm saying it was legit in the sense is like, okay, you know.
But I
9 people.
I thought the rule was 8. You can't do it on the road. You can screw your home fans, but you can't screw the road fans.
That's exactly. Well, that's
maybe
kind
they
of
played here once already.
Doesn't matter, you know.
I don't know.
Because how long ago these people buy those tickets?
That's what I'm saying.
They put down their hard-earned money. They want to go see a good, you know, some stars play, and they're not going to play. They're going to watch them on the bench in street clothes.
And I think the ultimate respect to Pop would be to play us full strength. That's what
absolutely.
That's what Pop wants. I know he wants Pop to get the record, but I don't think Pop wants. You remember how when Brett Favre fell down in front of Strahan?
Yeah, it's a cheap,
remember that?
Yeah, it's a cheap
that's what this feels like tonight. You remember that he just kind of fell down in front of Strahan?
Yeah,
that was like that ain't no record breaker.
No, that was the record breaker.
Yeah,
right there. It's bad. So yeah, I'm kind of. I was looking forward to and I imagine the executives over at Ken's TV aren't thrilled.
Is it y'all's game tonight?
It is a Ken's TV game tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, there again.
Everybody screwed it.
Yeah, everybody screwed. So, you know, it's just not good. And look, I'm all for resting players. I don't care. If you want to rest 1 or 2, I get that. But not everybody.
No.
I mean, because seriously, they probably had to call some guys up from the G League to play.
Absolutely they did.
I mean,
you're going to need
6-7 guys out.
What is it? You're going to need
a roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to need a roster to know who these guys are.
And there's enough Spurs games where you feel like you need a roster just for our guys, let alone the other guys.
Yeah.
But with Golden State, you're not in that situation. Yeah. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Although I'll tell you, though, you talk about basketball tonight. I don't know how much of the Spurs I'll watch, but that Texas Tech game.
Oh man,
just
those
for the
people up there are
atmosphere,
going crazy.
I know Lubbock. It's like
they blocked the bus.
Sounded like they liked Chris Beard, though. Everybody was saying he was number 1.
I know.
Everybody.
I think it's half of a peace sign.
Half of a peace sign.
Half of a peace sign.
Yeah.
And they weren't showing the number 1, so it's the other.
The other one.
Yes.
Got you.
Which I don't want to do on the
no, don't do that.
You know, off camera.
Don't do that.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a pretty incredible atmosphere tonight up in Lubbock. That is not the college basketball game we have coming up, though.
Who do y'all have?
What do we have?
I don't know. What do we have coming up?
Oh, y'all are really out.
North Carolina, Louisville.
Who?
North Carolina, Louisville.
Oh, yeah, that's a good game.
Absolutely.
You got to start getting ready.
Y'all sound like company guys. Like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Just don't touch that dial.
No, it's coming up. Next, want to thank Troy Aikman for stopping by. Rudy, J. Rob, everybody. Nick, Edwin, Pledge. Congrats, man. I don't know what the hell you were doing today, but somehow you made it work and we got there.
Way to go, Pledge.
We'll be back tomorrow, 103.3 FM. Make sure you tweet those photos all night. We'll select those gift card winners coming up in a bit. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your heater, your AC, this week you might need both the AC today, the heater later in the week. You call Quarter Moon 24/7. 210-651-5899 is the number. 651-5899. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are always stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And again, heater, next couple of days, you're going to need it. You kick it on, you got a problem, you call 210-651-5899. Write that number down, 210-651-5899, or you can find them online. Go to the website, quartermoonplumbing.com.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients,